week number 15 of the Seed of the Day. I want to go straight into the topic because I promised you guys that this week's topic was going to be a continuation from last week's. So to summarize week number 14 of the Seed of the Day, I talked about just embracing all kinds of emotions. And I realized that there's no negative or positive emotions. Rather, there's more like pleasurable and unpleasurable emotions. But the point is that, again, there's no negative or positive. Is more important than that is how we deal with the emotions that we're feeling. All emotions are important and they all have a function, but it depends on how we deal with them. We can either grow or get stuck in a place. So you can argue basic emotions, but I've chosen five. There's five basic emotions: fear, joy, sadness, anger, and affection. And they all have a function. For example, fear allows us to just be cautious, and it's used for self-protection. Be cautious, and you find security. Joy just gives us that energy that we love to feel. Sadness helps us to get in touch with ourselves and internalize. The anger helps us to defend ourselves and put limits. And affection, of course, helps us to link in a deeper way with other people. So what do I mean by it? It's most importantly the way on how we deal with an emotion, rather than if it's a positive or a negative emotion. And I want to use a personal example with you guys, that actually the Seed of the Day was born during a time when I was feeling a lot of sadness and anger and frustration. I actually at the time was having conflict with another person, and when I feel out of balance emotionally, I like to kind of have alone time and internalize. And in this case, I realized that I was feeling anger, sadness, just frustration in general. And once I realized what was going on with me, once I understood what was going on inside of me, I decided at the time to share on social media kind of what I had learned about myself, and just a little lesson that I learned about that emotion, and thanks to that experience. And so fast forward to today, the Seed of the Day is helping a lot of people. The Seed of the Day is helping me. And so thanks to that emotion that usually has a negative connotation, when you feel sad, no one really wants to feel sad. But something positive came out of that because, in this case, I was able to internalize and then focus that energy and just learn something about myself. In contrast, if I would have kind of just stayed in that anger and stayed in that sadness, that could have potentially turned into, depression, just more resentment towards a person. And that's when I think we have to develop a skill of realizing when that emotion is, again, bringing us out of that balance in life. So just to recap, there's no positive or negative emotions, but rather all emotions are going to help us in our growth, emotional growth, and most importantly, in getting to know ourselves. As always, if you like this or if you didn't like this, if you applied the Seed of the Day, comment, please let me know. I hope it's useful for many of you as it was for me. And I will see you guys next week.